Hello, friends, and welcome to another video. For a bit of a throwback episode, this week I'm gonna be showing you guys some long-lost footage from our East Asia trip in 2019, where we went shopping at 8 different vintage stores in 3 different countries. Now, 2 years ago, we went on a trip to East Asia for 3 weeks to visit Tokyo, Seoul, and Hong Kong to explore beauty and fashion trends, different shopping experiences, and cheese. Lots of cheese. Even more cheese than I expected, but I was not mad about it. Oh, did you just drop it?
I literally just dropped the cheese
into my Birkenstock. And during our travels, I thought it would be cool to visit a couple of vintage clothing stores in each location to see how they compare to each other, as well as how they compare to vintage stores back in the US. And also, of course, to gather myself an international vintage clothing haul, with a couple of tchotchkes thrown in. Now, it has been a minute since our trip, and we did try to produce this video last summer, but honestly, I was not really in the right headspace to do it, as it was kind of hard to watch all this footage from the before times where we were traveling and spending time with our friends, having fun.
This is fun. This is fun.
But Tyler and I do really love this footage, so we wanted to share it with you guys. Also, it feels a bit like sucking the venom out of a wound to be able to finally put it together. So, our international vintage clothing haul is still here. So I figured, better late than never, right? Also, it feels like it might be a while before we'll be able to travel like this again, so we kind of are also doing this because we miss it. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Now, our first stop on our Asia trip was Tokyo, Japan, where we teamed up with our friend and fellow YouTuber Rinrin, who helped us produce our unique vending machine video.
I think I've slowly roped Rinrin into trying the hornet larva.
As well as our Lolita makeover video.
Look, we're cats.
And as someone well-versed in the Tokyo street fashion scene, Rinrin was able to recommend a few vintage shops we should check out, all of which were located in the famously fashionable Harajuku neighborhood, which is well known for its many stores, boutiques, and Instagram-cute food locations. And the first stop on our list was this store, Kinsella.
Ooh.
Now, Kinsella is kind of like a wonderland of 90s kid nostalgia.
Yeah, Ty, this is everything. We've got the Spice Girls, and then we've got a MC Hammer doll.
With throwback graphic tees, chunky sweaters, and bright neon windbreakers.
I'm getting kind of like a Fresh Prince vibe, a little bit. Oh, look at these big creepers too.
Now, the store owner says that he focuses mostly on athletic, hip-hop, and skater fashion from specifically the 80s and 90s. Although to my and Rinrin's dismay,
he's also bringing in a lot of millennial, like 2000 stuff.
It's so trippy that that's now vintage. You know what I mean?
It is!
Granted, this was back in 2019. Now I am sure that the 2000s are considered vintage.
I'm like, is that fashionable again? There's also a Pokemon Gotta Catch 'em All hat like right in front of you.
How could I miss that?
The store owner also said that he sources almost everything in the shop from driving up and down the coast of California.
I'm literally standing below a Harley Davidson Fresno shirt, so definitely.
So we are in Tokyo shopping at a California store.
Yep.
And overall, I would say that we found a lot of stuff we really liked here.
Lots of Chicago Bulls stuff.
Oh my god, this is the Charles Barkley Godzilla collab. That's amazing, I'm gonna have to get that.
The only thing that was a bit off-putting were the multiple, kind of terrifying Mickey Mouse dolls.
That's a murder Mickey Mouse.
That's a murder Mickey?
Yeah.
He's a little terrifying. Yeah, that is like a Mickey Mouse voodoo doll.
If you bring him home,
like
he'll never leave.
Eyelashes.
I think that's the worst part.
Now, in terms of what we were actually going to buy, there were a few things that caught my eye.
There is one shirt over there that I'm like kind of liking that's like an empty crossword puzzle. It's very like Natasha Bedingfield, like your future is still unwritten.
And funnily enough, going through the footage now, there are actually quite a few things in this store that I'm like, damn, I should have got that.
Disney's Beauty and the Beast on Broadway.
A new musical.
Why do I like low-key want that?
But at the time, I was pretty worried about room in the suitcase, because this was store 1 of 8. So the only thing I ended up buying here was this oversized button-down with flaming skulls on it.
It's like that Chandler Bing style.
Yes.
Yes!
Yes. Rin likes that. Yes. This is kind of like a Chandler Bing bowling shirt, but like rock and roll. Like hardcore.
This shirt kind of made me feel like an angsty ska band member. I mean, it's basically like a metal version of a Hawaiian shirt, and that surprisingly struck a chord with me.
Hang loose, bro. That's a Hawaii thing, isn't it? That's not really a California thing.
Besides that, we did also come away with the Charles Barkley x Godzilla x Nike collab shirt for Tyler.
You're not even gonna try it on. You're just getting it.
I would hang it up on my wall if it doesn't fit.
And a pink shoulder-padded blazer for Rinrin.
I keep picking up things.
Oh, that's a cute
Oh,
jacket.
no.
I'm seeing it from here.
Before moving on to our next shop.
We got stuff.
Now, for our second Japanese vintage store, we went down the street to Dog Harajuku.
It's quite intense if you're ready for it.
The actual store is located down a narrow flight of stairs in kind of a fashion dungeon with fluorescent lights, black walls, chain link fencing, static televisions, and choice taxidermy.
Can we talk about the like ravens that are everywhere? It's very like Edgar Allan Poe meets like EDC.
Also, yes, there was some EDM/dubstep blasting in here, so that's gonna be present in our audio throughout. Now, Dog specializes in vintage remake style clothing, which is a fashion trend in Japan that focuses on modifying vintage clothes, oftentimes by cutting up different pieces and combining them together.
YouTube, MySpace, Google, and Yahoo.
Wow.
See?
Yeah.
Like this is the neck of another t-shirt.
right here.
And rather than focusing on a specific era of vintage clothes, the shop staff said that they just pick up whatever catches their eye and then remake it.
Look, we're Frank and Jim.
Yes.
But they did tell us that they get most of their vintage items from Southeast Asia and the US.
Maybe you could wear this, because you've been dying to get a Sixers jersey.
Have I?
Another fun fact about Dog is that it's quite popular amongst celebrity visitors, a lot of whom have actually signed their wall.
I see, that's Ariana Grande?
Yep.
And
then you have
Skrillex.
Skrillex. There's Lady Gaga up on top.
Where?
And though they do offer quite the spectrum of pieces, I would describe Dog's general style as if BattleBots had a fashion line.
Oh, hell yeah.
Or maybe disgruntled but chic rhinestoned cyberpunk.
There is definitely like an overall Ed Hardy vibe.
Or perhaps even things you could wear to a rave inside the Matrix.
Wow, look at that color.
You look like a hard drive.
And though there were quite a few things that caught our eye,
It's like holographic cheese.
It is.
in terms of what we were actually going to buy,
All right, Taya, I don't want to alarm you, but there are plastic-legged jeans here with tassels on the side.
there were really only two contenders.
Why is this so creepy?
This hypnotizing purple button-down
Suspicious minds.
It's kind of like a conspiracy theory shirt. You know what I mean?
and this bejeweled FedEx-sponsored NASCAR jacket.
I'm just gonna put it on right here, right now.
Now, if you've seen our Balenciaga toe heels video, you know this one won.
It's pretty unbelievable.
What's up?
I can't fully explain why I like this jacket so much,
I'm like pretty into this.
but there is just something about it that calls to me, like the ocean calls to Moana.
You should get that jacket and walk into a FedEx and be like, I own this place now.
So I felt like I had to follow my heart and get it.
Here's the only controversy with FedEx.
What?
There's an arrow between the E and the X.
Wait, what?
You see it, Saf?
Oh, here! Is that on purpose?
Yeah, like FedEx, like you're gonna send it.
Do they
Cannot
only send
unsee.
things to the left?
No, it's the right anyway, but yeah. So, yeah.
All right, that is the controversy around FedEx.
I don't know, maybe this is like a
Listen.
every other thing, but.
Are you a suspicious mind about the intentions of FedEx? Did that work at all?
No, but
Should I just go back to my cage?
where are you going with that, though? Are you gonna say
I don't
something?
know. You're a conspiracy theorist about Federal Express shipping.
Now, for our final Japanese vintage store, we went to this one on the other side of Harajuku called Punk Cake,
Wow.
which, similar to Kinsella, seemed to kind of focus on American nostalgia, though it did seem to lean a bit more 80s than 90s. There was weirdly a lot of Alf,
Very 80s.
Yeah.
Definitely.
with a lot of bright hues,
It's very colorful. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
bold statement patterns, and poofy sleeves.
Oh, I love shoulder pads like that.
Very 16 candles.
If you touch them, they're like crunchy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
as well as some choice acid wash denim and tulle.
We have another hold item.
Oh, wow. It's kind of like the clear knee mom jeans, but no plastic. And add ruffles.
It's like the clear chest flash vest.
Now, we don't know exactly where or how Punk Cake sources their items.
I like this like a zebra shirt right here.
Oh, yeah. Is it a jacket? There's big pockets in it. It might be a jacket.
It's a cool jacket then.
But I would say beyond just 80s, there was also a pretty strong cowgirl theme to some of the items in the store.
I feel like there is a slight like Western vibe to this place, or like a country vibe.
There's so many hats. Like, I love all the hats.
Oh, my God. Look at this horse vest. This is everything.
I feel like my first grade teacher wore those.
This specifically, it does have like almost like an art teacher vibe.
Yeah.
And that combined with the pink, the sequins, the fringe, and the tulle gave Punk Cake selection a vague Dolly Parton feel.
Look at this. Wow, amazing.
Now, I did try on a couple of things here,
How do we feel about this? I'm having some inner turmoil about it.
like this black ruffled blouse,
It's kind of like a little bit like Shakespearean.
Absolutely, I feel that. I could like unsheath a like very thin sword. It's a little Inigo Montoya in that way.
as well as the iconic horse vest.
I'm not sure what I'm trying to say with this one. It's like a look for someone, somewhere.
Is that someone somewhere in this corner?
No.
And then finally,
It's zebra time.
Ooh, oh, it is zebra time.
this zebra printed top.
Jacket or shirt?
I think it's a jacket because there are like pockets like right here. You know what I mean? Or there were. Have I lost them? So it's kind of like this. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a jacket.
It's kind of cool.
I kind of like it. Oh, Rinrin's giving me a red cowboy hat. Oh my God, I'm like Ted Mosby, but on my head.
And where this could be styled to go full on cowgirl, or I guess safari,
Pulling it off. Maybe.
Maybe.
I could also potentially see it adding some pizzazz to some of my everyday comfortable vampire outfits.
I feel like this is a good in-between between like the horse vest and the 80s shirt. It's an 80s zebra jacket. There you go.
So, we got it. And with those 3 stores visited and my FedEx conspiracy decidedly unsolved, it was time for us to pack up our Japanese vintage store haul and make our way to the airport to catch our flight to the second stop of our trip, Seoul, South Korea. Now, while in Seoul, we teamed up with local YouTuber Hoju Sarah and her boyfriend Tiny Tip, who helped show us around the city, to many amazing restaurants, and to a very relaxing Korean spa,
Are we pulling it off? I think it looks amazing. I kind of look like Yoda.
as well as escorted us on our lengthy train ride to the Imshol Cheese theme park.
Oh, there it is. We are approaching the big cheese.
And through some of their recommendations, as well as with some sleuthing of our own on Instagram, we nailed down 3 stores across the city we were interested in checking out. 2 of which were in the Hongdae area.
Wrong one?
realized I flipped you off.
You did? With your middle finger?
I was like this.
I didn't notice.
Now, Hongdae is a very young and happening area with lots of cafes and restaurants, street performances, nightlife, and tons of clothing boutiques. And the first vintage store we hit up was called Hantage.
This is the first one.
Now, Hantage is located at the bottom of a flight of stairs that is itself pretty decked out with items.
They start making use of the space really well, like even on the stairs.
No, we're already being sold merchandise. Oh, look, Ty, the Mighty Ducks. Quack, quack.
You have to get that.
And once you get downstairs, the store kind of feels like a retro basement with old TV sets and records on the wall.
Saf, check it out. Sebastian Bach, Skid Row.
Oh, we're big Gilmore Girls fans, so Sebastian Bach is 10 out of 10.
And the clothing kind of has a grungy Pacific Northwest vibe,
Oh, Tyler, there's Birkenstocks. Spotted.
which kind of makes me think of the vintage store we visited in Portland a few years ago.
Look at this, Ty. It's like Converse Ugg boot. Yeah. With like some shearling in there.
Is that a size 10 women's?
There's no way. It is a size 5.
After After chatting with the shop owner for a second, it seems like he doesn't really try to focus on one particular decade or style or source, and instead he just goes to wholesale vintage markets over in Ulsan on the coast.
So he just goes there, picks out the ones he likes and brings them back to his shop.
Cool.
So they come in from all different countries.
But if I had to pin it down, I would say that I was getting a lot of 80s and 90s with an emphasis on blazers, flannels, and jackets.
They're almost like the jackets that like Joey's doppelganger has,
Yes.
right? How are you doing? We like pizza.
Now, I'm not sure if the Birkenstocks were a sign, but I did find a lot of things I really liked here.
It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Very Beetlejuice.
Lady Beetlejuice.
Lady juice.
Lady Juice.
Oh no, don't do that. Don't put
Nope,
that in.
that's
no
in the
one
video.
Wants the lady juice.
I beg to differ, Sarah.
Like this oversized black leather trenchy type jacket,
Oh, yeah. Dude, that's cool, Saf.
This is awesome.
with this geometric pattern made out of suede on the back.
I don't know if I like this look, but I like this look.
With it down and about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a early 90s businesswoman Professor Snape.
I mean, can it really get any better than that? Besides the jacket, there was also this dress I really liked.
Are you telling me you didn't bring that from home?
No, I love this.
That is great.
This is like totally my style, like completely.
I don't usually love the way low-waisted dresses fit me, but this one seemed to skim in all the right places.
Oh, I'm loving this.
I like it a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
So we had to get this one too. And that was our Hantage haul.
So let's buy them and then head to a different vintage store, right?
Sounds good.
Yes.
Now, our second stop was just a couple of blocks away.
Ring my button.
Nothing sexual here.
No lady juice.
Yeah, there you go. Someone had to mention it.
Though aesthetically, it could not be more different from Hantage.
Oh.
With a light, dreamy atmosphere and ruffles, polka dots, gingham, and florals everywhere.
I found the matching skirt to Tyler's pants.
Oh.
That's my booty.
The bouquet.
With the general vibe being like a children's tea party.
She's cute. There's also clock pockets.
Clockets.
Oh, there we go.
Both with the clothes and accessories, and also from the assortment of vintage dolls.
We have a lot of minis and Barbies everywhere.
Oh my god, that Barbie was my ish. Oh my god. Back when I was a little kid, I wanted to be an Olympic skater because of Michelle Kwan, and I was very upset when she did not win the gold at the 1998 Olympics, but I did also have this Barbie, and I was obsessed with her. Ty, I also had this Barbie. This Barbie actually caused a big fight between me and my cousin as to like who would get it. So actually, maybe neither of us ended up getting it.
Now, rather than going for a specific era, I would say this place just had a unified style.
It's very cute, very girly here.
Yeah.
And full disclosure, not everything in this store is vintage. Some of it is handmade.
The sign says vintage, handmade, and new. So everything, I guess.
But the shop staff did let us know that a lot of their clothes come from Japan specifically.
That's cute.
Oh, wow. That would be cute on you. It's kind of similar to your skirt.
Yeah, I just picked out something that I like. I was like, Safiya, wear the thing that I'm pretty much wearing.
Despite the pastels, I did find a few things to try on, like this little hat.
I used to rock a mean bucket hat as a kid.
I like that.
Yeah?
I actually do too.
Do I look like a baby?
A little bit.
Like a baby in a bonnet? But a
of those
goth
things.
bonnet.
And this gray buttoned-up dress.
Ooh, oh wow.
Do I look like an American Girl doll?
Yes, you do. It's a very, very different style, but it's really cute. You look like Angela.
Oh, from The Office?
Which unfortunately didn't feel like it fit me 100%.
It seems like maybe a bit tight in the boobs.
But we did end up getting this two-paneled polka-dotted skirt.
I like it. It's cool.
It is kind of cool. I like the asymmetric bit at the bottom. That's what's kind of like selling it for me.
It's a little vintage remade looking.
Which besides having a cool pattern, is also an interesting midi/maxi length, though
I think this one was from the handmade rack and not the vintage rack.
Got it.
Just being honest.
but I figure it's in a vintage store, so it's fair game for the haul, right?
See, I found something in this very pink store.
You did, you found the one black thing in the pink store.
We did also get the bucket hat,
I like this.
so technically the two black things in the store.
I got so much positive feedback from you guys and I'm feeling confident now.
And with those in hand, we headed off to our final Korean vintage shop, Vintage Bonnie, across town in an area called the Bukjeong Hanok Village.
So it's pretty much famous for having all these old hanoks, which is the old Korean-style houses. But instead of demolishing them all, they've turned them into shops and cafes and restaurants and stuff, which is really cool.
So there's not necessarily a lot of vintage shops in this area, but it's kind of like a vintage area.
Yeah, exactly.
And the store itself is recognizable by its pink awning, neon sign, and racks of dresses just outside the front door.
Care Bears. Care Bears everywhere.
Now, if I thought Ring My Button looked kind of like a dollhouse,
Oh, Ty, there are just as many Barbies as in the last place.
this place was like 2 stories of dollhouse heaven,
And these are the old school Polly Pockets, like the tiny ones that were choking hazards.
with an 80s Barbie dream closet downstairs and a full-on pastel clubhouse upstairs.
The toy collection is amazing.
Saf, giant Barbie Pez dispenser.
Ty, oh my God, look at this, behind the Barbie radio system.
And in terms of the clothes, they seem to have a lot of 70s prairie dresses,
This is kind of an epic dress. I don't think it'll fit me though.
some lacy and ruffly numbers,
Like this to me is like a very 80s prom dress.
as well as quite a few flowy and bright maxi dresses.
There's a lot of sort of like Hawaiian style dresses behind me. Like I think I would call this a muumuu.
Now, though the shop owner did tell us that she doesn't focus on any particular era, she does get most of her pieces from Japan, Korea, and America. And she certainly does have a signature style, which I would call pastel, crocheted, flamingoed, and floral.
Oh wow, I feel like Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus.
You do look like Miss Frizzle, yeah.
Today we will be studying pollination and flowers. Rah.
Now, in terms of what I ended up getting here,
There's this one is kind of a cute dress. It's interesting. I don't know what Pink House
Black
is.
Pink House.
Oh, it's a black dress and it says Pink House on it. All right, I'll take that.
I did, as expected, pick up one of the only black dresses in the store.
It's quite long.
Oh, wow.
Is it kind of interesting?
It's very interesting. It's kind of your style, Saf.
Ignore the like giant lump in the back that is the microphone.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like not very shapely.
But I think this dress successfully combines my aesthetic with the flowy maxi vibes of the store.
The shopkeeper says in the background it's very pretty.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm sure she hasn't seen the microphone lump either.
No, it's
Don't
fine.
worry, I think I need to get that checked out. No, I actually quite like it.
Now, besides the black Pink House dress, I did also pick up a tchotchke from the assortment of mugs and teacups on the second floor.
Hey, Sarah, are these for sale?
Oh, so these are from the 1950s.
Okay, because I need that.
Oh yeah, it's for sale.
Oh my God, Tyler, look at this.
These are all from overseas.
McDonald's Breakfast Brigade. You know, we should take this to our McDonald's wedding, Ty.
Yeah.
And though it did not officially make it to our Hong Kong McDonald's wedding because it is quite fragile, it is now a mainstay on our prop shelf, next to our McDonald's wedding tumbler. So with those 2 very unrelated items purchased, it was time for us to stuff all of the things we had bought into our overflowing suitcase and head off to the 3rd destination of our trip, Hong Kong.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
And in Hong Kong, we teamed up with Hong Kong-based YouTuber Taylor R, as well as her good friend Natalie, who helped us navigate the famous ladies' market in Mongkok, as well as organize our aforementioned McDonald's wedding. It was quite a time, and based on their recommendations, we found 2 vintage shops to check out. We did try to get to a 3rd, but unfortunately, it was closed.
Apparently, they're very busy, so they're opening later. I don't know.
Now, before we get to shopping, I just want to touch on some of what's been happening in Hong Kong since our trip, just because I feel like it would be remiss not to mention it at all. Since summer 2019, there have been a lot of protests and political tension, and the situation is still ongoing. But that said, we felt it would be worse for us to cut this portion of the video out and not share with you guys all of the interesting things we saw and all of the people we met in Hong Kong, because it really is a cool place with a lot to offer, and we really enjoyed our time there. I've left some links in the description below if you're interested in reading more about what's been happening, and for our part, we really hope we'll be able to return sometime soon. Now, in terms of vintage stores, first up on our list was Me&G, located in the Mongkok neighborhood, which in general is a very fast-paced shopping area with a lot going on. It even holds the Guinness World Record for busiest district in the world. And Me&G was actually located on the same street as the ladies' market we had visited the night before.
So now we're here in the daytime. It's got a very different feel during the
does,
day.
right? Yeah.
And this was the first store we had visited on our trip that I would say was more comparable to a thrift shop rather than like a curated vintage store.
It's been described to me as a dodgy local spot. Is that fair?
Yes.
Everyone approves of that?
Yes.
Yeah, yep, okay.
There's just a lot of everything, all different styles, from different places at very low prices.
The store itself is divided into 2 levels, but it seems like there are just all kinds of clothes pretty much everywhere.
It's like cells going into the mitochondria. Like I'm passing the cell wall right now.
Oh my God.
Or a car wash, like I feel like I'm getting buffered in the middle.
It definitely gave off the, there are some hidden gems in here, but you're gonna have to put in some work to find them vibe.
There's also upstairs.
Oh, shall we go
Do you
up?
want to scope the scene?
Yeah,
See
let's
what's
go
up there?
up.
The second floor was similarly filled to the brim with racks on racks on racks, and not only was it Rack City, it was also Low Ceiling City.
We will post on internet, thief could put in jail. That's what it says right there.
What if we post ourselves on the internet?
As long as you're not shoplifting, I think you should be fine.
With low-flying beams and random steps on the floor.
Saf, are you standing on a ledge right now? Okay,
I don't
you
know
are.
where I am. I went through a sudden growth spurt.
Now, in terms of what conclusions I could draw about their inventory, they say that they get their items from Europe, Korea, and Japan, and they have quite the array.
What is this?
From t-shirts to button-downs,
They're kind of like the muses from Hercules.
Oh, they are kind of like the muses from Hercules. Yeah.
factory jumpsuits, leather vests, dresses,
This one's cute too.
That one's good.
Oh, wow, that's super cute.
a lot of jackets, and shoes.
Wow.
Yeah.
If only I knew what size feet Christine has.
Let me just stalk her WikiFeet page.
From brands like Zara all the way to Ferragamo.
I think the brand names are marked with a famous sticker.
I did find a couple of things to try on, like this maybe baseball jersey.
What does this say? Janky?
Yes.
It's kind of like the Yankees, but like the hankies.
Which ended up being a keeper.
It's like kind of awesome, but I don't know really what's going on.
It actually like suits you. Not because you're janky.
But Natalie's recommendation was probably the best thing we found in the store overall.
Basically, they are like real Japanese factory coat. I don't know how they get it. It's super cool. Yeah.
Interesting.
They had a ton of these decommissioned factory jackets.
Yeah, I have a similar one that I've been wearing for like 5 years already.
Taylor found a really nice aqua one.
So yours is cool. Yeah, I like the embroidery.
And after some digging, I found a gray one for myself.
What do you think?
Ooh.
That
Is
is
this one
really
cute?
cool, yeah. I think, Saf, if you put that one down, you're not getting it back.
Natalie's inching her way over here.
We're like,
Looking over.
So we snagged it before Natalie could snag it for me.
I think this is actually quite a cool find. Yeah, yours looks good too. I
like
like
it?
it a lot, yeah.
Now, after an eventful time at Me&G, we hopped on the subway to get over to Hong Kong Island.
To Central we go.
To try to get to that vintage store that ended up being closed. So at that point, before visiting our last store, we actually headed over to the beach in Recluse Bay to film a towel-kini video for Taylor's channel, where we got seriously rained on.
So now we're gonna go back into town and film our second vintage store, but I guess I'm just checking in now just to let everyone know that we are wet.
and I look like Monica from Friends.
So our final vintage shop was called Midwest Vintage, nearby an area of Hong Kong Island called Causeway Bay.
I love how it's not raining now.
As soon as we leave the beach, it stops raining. Oh my god, their windows are like totally fogged up.
Now, Midwest Vintage is a pretty large, curated vintage shop focusing specifically on American goods.
Online it says it's the oldest American vintage store in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And inside, the place has quite the Great American Outdoors vibe.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
It's very like army-esque, cowboy. There's some American flags.
Is it weird to say it also kind of smells like an American vintage store?
Yeah, it does.
Maybe like a leather smell or something.
With a warm-toned, wood-paneled interior.
It's almost like a log cabin even.
Yeah, I'm getting like a Wild West vibe or kind of like an Arizonan vibe.
Yeah.
And with the clothing they sell, I think they hit a lot of facets of vintage Americana.
Oh, that one's really cute.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
In terms of era, from like the 1950s to modern day, and in terms of style, from like military jackets to Hawaiian shirts and graphic tees.
It says sleep with a doctor and watch him operate.
It's almost like an FBI, like female body inspector, like shirt.
Now I had a field day trying things on,
Is this good? Can I wear vests?
I don't know.
including a number of leather jackets.
Oh my God. Oh, damn it. The sleeves are a little short, but what do you think?
Frilly leather looks pretty good on you right now, Saf.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, every fringed leather jacket I tried on seemed to be too short in the arms.
Damn it.
Otherwise, I definitely would have gotten one.
Oh, actually, this one's not quite as bad, but it's almost worse that it's closer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost worse that it's almost long enough.
Now, besides their vintage items, the shop also carries an original line of vintage remade items
Oh my God, look, Ty, here's like the pocket of a pant.
It's a pant.
that they create in-house.
This is kind of like a Franken bag. It's like a bag with a little bag on it. It's a bag in a bag.
It's bag with bonus bags.
It's a bag on a bag.
Most of which have a general patchwork vibe.
Ooh.
Is it cute? There's no mirror in there. Actually, I kind of like it.
I do too.
Geometric boobs.
Yeah.
And I ended up liking both this cropped remade t-shirt and this oversized version as well.
Ooh, I like this. I'm
Yeah.
not wearing any pants.
It's cute.
Yeah, let me live. Taylor's not even judging me. I'm like
I've
being
seen
very
everything
defensive.
at this point.
Which I did questionably try on without pants at the store because I didn't have any pants on hand. But it's okay, because I bought it. So that means it's okay. And with those two shirts and a matching backpack purchased, it was time for us to get back to our hotel, really struggle to get all of our suitcases zipped, and then head to the airport to catch our flight back to the US. Overall, I am very pleased with our East Asian vintage shop haul, even 2 years later. Obviously, we only visited 8 shops, so there's only so much we can conclude from them, like overarchingly. But that said, besides how popular the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s seemed to be, I was surprised by how many of these stores sold American items. And even if they didn't focus on American clothing, how many of them displayed vintage American toys and decor in their stores. I was also interested to see different takes on the vintage remake trend in multiple locations. Now, as a quick update, luckily most of these places are still open and in their original locations. Unfortunately, Vintage Bonnie is currently closed, though they are still selling merchandise via their Instagram page and do plan to reopen at some point. Hantage also seems to have moved, but their new location is just a few short blocks away from where they used to be.
Miss you, Safiya.
Miss you, Tyler. Miss you, Safiya. See you next time.
See you next time.
So obviously this is a little bit of a different video, and it might be weird to see this footage after so long, but I really hope you guys enjoyed it. We had a great time checking out all of these vintage stores and also getting to hang out with our hosts in each place, and hopefully we'll get to visit again soon. But until then, I do have my bedazzled FedEx jacket to keep me company. Yes, NASCAR, they're here for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked that video, make sure to shmash that like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to shmash that subscribe button. Here is my Instagram, here is my TikTok, and here is our live streaming channel where we live stream every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So feel free to check any of those things out if they seem interesting to you. And with that, I will see you guys next time.